probe into that the confirmation of gunmen abducting a family, of four in Abuja. Away from that to matters that concern the football, where Nigeria is going to be battling Tunisia, Uganda, Tanzania in Group C. I mean, into other matters where the Dangote refinery is to receive 12 million barrels of U.S. crude. I mean, that's what's happening right there. And of course, to a popular matter, which has been about the alleged gospel singer Timileyin, who is now pleading not guilty to the alleged murder of his girlfriend. I mean, quite a number of things, out there to talk about. But then you should also know that there is also a report about as to how the price of rice rose from 2,500 naira in 2000 to 105,000 naira in 2024. I mean, that should be a bag of rice. So in the year 2000, it was 2005. Was it 2005 or 25? 25K, I guess. All right. But now, well, what I see is 2,500. Okay. All right. But yes, we are going to be talking about something. Now, this thing pertains to the matter that concerns one of the efforts that the president is making. One of such would be the place where he mentioned job creation. Job creation has been an issue in the country. I mean, we've seen collaborations on promises from the president, from the vice president, from the Senate president about how Nigeria will be collaborating with countries such as Brazil, China, the United States of America, Switzerland, and this should foster some good bilateral relationships that would allow for FDI's investment opportunities that would also culminate in the employment of able-bodied Nigerians. But yes, even though all of these efforts have been out there, quite a number of us still believe that we have not been able to address the issue of unemployment head on. We've not been able to address infrastructural development. We've not been able to put in place certain vital economic sectors that should allow the economy thrive and encourage, build an enabling environment for entrepreneurs to thrive, such that rather than look for white-collar jobs and depend on the government solely, talented and skilled Nigerians can indeed venture into productive activity, productive business activities, where they will not only be independent, but they will also employ others who need the dependency on the job to survive. I mean, just recently did we see where there's a report that says 13 million more Nigerians at risk of poverty this year. So added to whatever the figure was before, there's an additional 13 million more Nigerians at risk of poverty this year. Is that not alarming enough? Well, that is alarming, if you ask me. But then, we've seen where the Federal Civil Service Commission is making a nationwide announcement, and you wonder what the announcement is all about. Now, the Federal Civil Service Commission is a government agency responsible for recruiting and managing the workforce of the Federal Civil Service in Nigeria. So if you didn't know that, now you know. The commission was actually established in 1954, and it has one mandate: to ensure that the civil service is efficient, is effective, and responsive to the needs of the government and the citizens. So there is a recruitment exercise which is supposedly to be a regular process aimed at filling vacant positions in the civil service and to provide opportunities for Nigerians to serve their country. Well, the exercise is usually, competitive, and applicants are selected, based on their qualifications. They're selected based on their experience and performance in interviews and assessment. And the Commission's recruitment process is guided by the principles of transparency, fairness, and merit. Right. But it takes us to the announcements, where they've announced that, okay, there's going to be a recruitment exercise now for various positions across the Federal Civil Service. Now, the Commission is also looking at eligible, Nigerians to apply. Now, applicants can only vie for one position, okay? So you can't do beyond one position, in that regard. Okay, I mentioned earlier it was FCPC. My bad, is FCSC, right? That would have been a slip of tongue. Now, the reason we are having this conversation this morning would be about how we have seen the conducting or the conduct of exercises like this. Well, we should give it to the FCSC for at least coming out boldly, and seeking eligible candidates or applicants to apply. But then we hope that we don't see a scenario as we are seeing at the moment with regards the humanitarian affairs, conditional cash transfer, where it is on the front page of Nigerian newspaper this morning, how some persons are trying to use political might to sabotage the process. And there's also a case of social registry. So, in the end, those who probably should indeed get this conditional cash transfer will wait and hope, but will not receive. And there's nothing that kills anyone more than that. When hope is killed, what is left for faith? So, we're looking at issues that concern transparency. We're looking at issues that concern accountability. We're looking at issues that concern federal character. We're also looking at issues that concern hope this is not another charade, where people will apply, where people will take out their time, get onto this portal, and in the end, there is nothing to write home about. I mean, there's quite a number of persons who have done this process before. There are people who have been asked to pay monies. Now, I'm not talking about the FCSC as an agency. I'm talking about those who work in or within the agency in itself, whether at the directorate level, even a gates man too will also tell you, I've got connection. We hope that there will be that transparency, where Nigerians will indeed be able to say, if all of these other organizations have failed us, this one is legitimate, and it will indeed accede to our concerns. Well, we're having a guest, join us via phone call. His name is Sir Benedict Olalekan Agunoye. He's an information professional now, a policy maker, policy and public affairs analyst, I beg your pardon. And yes, a policy maker too. I mean, in his own right, he is a policy maker. All right. And he'll be using his voice to engage this discourse this morning. Now, I should tell you a personal story. Now, a Nigerian who has decided to remain anonymous has said, I have always been interested in serving my country through the civil service. He goes on to saying, I have friends who have applied for positions in the past and have been successful. However, I have also heard stories of people who have been frustrated by the recruitment process due to corruption and favoritism. And I think we should mark these two: corruption and favoritism. And now it goes on to say, I believe that the Federal Civil Service Commission's recruitment exercise is an opportunity for Nigerians to serve their country and contribute to its development. Now, he also says, however, I also think that the commission needs to ensure that the process is transparent and fair to avoid disappointing applicants. And it makes me want to question, how is this going to be achieved? Well, Sir Benedict, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, I'm here.
Yes, we are here to talk about employment opportunities for Nigeria, where the Federal Civil Service, has, put out a clarion call to eligible Nigerians saying, okay, we want you to apply now. There are positions that you should fill up and all of that. First of all, how do you feel about this? I mean, the publishing of these opportunities, and what do you think will be the process of selection? And do you think that this will indeed
number one,
reach out to every Nigerian? Go on.
Well, number one, I think that the decision to publish is good for transparency.
Okay.
That it's fine. Then number two, the decision also to have people apply for the various positions online is also a good move. However, what we know in the immediate is I tried to check overnight, and I can say that the Federal Civil Service Commission was obviously not ready for the process that they have put in place.
Right. How do you mean? Why do you say that?
Fine. You can. I've tried to check on the website every three hours from 9 p.m. yesterday till now, till about 3 hours ago, and you will discover that what response you get online is that the bandwidth has been exceeded.
Sorry. I need to understand something. From 9 p.m. every 3 hours, you've been checking up until now.
Yes, I was checking to be sure what the response will be, and the response at some point is not even available at all. At some other point, it tells you the bandwidth has been exceeded, which means that portal is not ready for the crowd that they have called for. And if they say that they don't know there will be crowd, then that in itself is an evidence of gross incompetence. So if the website cannot permit the people to apply because the bandwidth is too low, then I think that whoever come up with the decision for it at all. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
For people, to make the announcement is great. To say people should apply online is good because people are in different. We are diverse and people are dispersed. But that the website is not able to accommodate the traffic, right?
Yeah,
it's a problem that will eventually distort the transparency and the ease that they were trying.
So, Benedict, do you think Nigerians are disappointed with this kind of charade? Do you think we are disappointed?
Definitely, a lot of people will be disappointed.
But I can tell you that some Nigerians are not disappointed. I mean, some had already predicted that this might just be the issue. In fact, I recall somebody telling me yesterday that, look, UD, forget about it. These guys, forget about it. That we are always in a hurry to try technology innovation when we know that we are not even ready to carry on the responsibilities that should come with it. What do you think?
Well, like I said, I am disappointed because it is a problem that we know.
Right.
So for them not preparing to handle it, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the starting point tells you clearly that whoever they have, the people they have in their ICT are incompetent, and those who took the decisions are not concerned about the outcome of their decisions. That is, they are not really concerned about Nigerians, they are just concerned about showing we are here. So it's more about announcing themselves, showing their relevance without necessarily taking up the responsibility of the office, which is to have ensured that people can apply seamlessly and, of course, get interviewed appropriately and engaged if they so meet the requirements. So I think that fundamentally, that is a failure of the Federal Civil Service Commission. that for me, that's what I see it to be. And when they knew they were not ready and were not competent to handle it, of course they could also have gone wide around and engage consultant or a consulting firm who will possibly have been able to run the process diligently and competently on their behalf.
Well, some would have said that they expected more from the Federal Civil Service in the sense that more than any other agency as we know them, because they are the Federal Civil Service, right? With this kind of pronouncement or announcements, what does it say about the future of the process in itself? Does it malign the process?
Let's hope that they will get over this initial teaching problem, but definitely an online application will still be the best way to run it, because you can't ask someone traveling from some part of the country to Abuja right now way above 25,000 naira. So if you need an applicant to spend 100,000 naira because he wants to submit an application to Federal Civil Service Commission, it doesn't make sense.
Right. Well, let's.
They have created an online platform.
Yeah.
People should be able to apply from wherever they are, and if there is a need for any physical contact, it should be devolved. There should be devolution to the zones, if not even the states, so that people will not travel too long a distance to be interviewed or to process the employment.
Well, let's get into the place of character, for this entire process. I mean, what do you think, should be the measure to ensuring that the recruitment process in itself is free and fair from favoritism and corruption, which quite a number of Nigerians are envisaging?
Well, largely as it stands, they have declared the vacancies. You have said people should apply online. And I want to believe we have a database to capture the people that would apply, right? And I would therefore want to believe that if they want a fair and transparent process, when you capture the people who have applied and you capture their data, it becomes easy to check and know where more people have applied or where less people have applied.
Okay.
But generally, I believe that Nigeria is so diversified a country. If whatever vacancy they declare today, right, give it to Benue State and you will know that it is not enough to take the unemployed people from Benue alone. Give it to Katsina, I cannot take the people from Katsina. There will be more than it. Ondo will have more people than what you have declared. Virtually every state in the southeast, maybe apart from the Golden Ebony, will have more candidates than the total vacancies declared. So by our diversity, I would expect that there would be respect for spread. But within that respect for spread, there should be merit, which means that you are not leaving a more competent candidate from Ondo to take a less competent one because he is the daughter or the son of a senator. Because what that tells you is this: when you leave your best outside and you take less than the best, the less than the best you take when they get to office want to prove that because they are now the ones there, they have achieved, and rather than operate at their level and get assistance where they need it, they would rather not add value but continue with self-aggrandizement and pride. So if you want to avoid that, if you want the best for the system, merit should be allowed to take precedence irrespective of the method we want to use to ensure spread. Like I said, because of our diversity, spread is very important.
Right.
And I can tell you today that there is no local government in Nigeria that does not have qualified graduates or competent people looking for jobs. So it should not be an excuse. Spread is not an excuse for incompetence.
Okay.
That's what I can say.
All right.
Competence must be checked, qualification must be followed, but spread must be respected.
All right. Spread must be respected. Spread is not an excuse for incompetence. Okay. Well, let's also hear from stakeholders. I'm talking about family members. I'm talking about you. What will be your 2 cents or your thoughts on this one? 0907-353-0044 is that number to call. The other number will be the WhatsApp portal number, where you should only please, the WhatsApp portal number, send only a WhatsApp message, not a voice note, to it, and it will be 0909-705-4450. Well, keep the calls coming through though. 0907-353-0044 is the only number that you should call. Let's go hear from you now. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, please. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
So happy to get your people today.
Thank you. What's your name, please?
My name is Mr. Victor.
Mr. Victor, where are you calling from?
Calling from Lokogoma.
Lokogoma. Mr. Victor, talk to us.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
In fact, the last speaker has said everything.
Okay.
But I need to chip one or two things.
Okay.
I retired from the civil service.
Okay.
We know what is happening in the civil service. The politicians are the ones causing this problem. Now, this platform, they ask people to apply online. I am telling you, as a former civil servant, they have collected their list. This one they are doing is just to fulfill all righteousness. As I'm talking to you now, there are some pressures from the head of state, vice president, senate president, all the senators, legislators, ministers. They are there. PAMSEC has its own list. Head of service has its own list. I am telling you, this thing is just to fulfill all righteousness.
Okay. Thank you.
I want to tell you something that happened yesterday. I was unable to get people yesterday. One general that spoke yesterday spoke why this problem of insecurity will not end so easily. The head of state will ask them to employ more hands. The general son will go there in the, maybe Jaji or wherever. When they qualify, they become a star, 3-star general or whatever. But the poor people, children will not be taken. You see,
so you feel it's the same thing that is going on with, the conversation we're having today was still the same conversation for tomorrow, or can we relate?
No, what I'm saying is I'm just drawing us back. I would have contributed yesterday, but I didn't know about to do that.
Time would not allow for that.
So let's just focus on
now, today. Yeah.
Okay, what I'm focusing now is that let us look inward.
Okay.
The problem is with the politicians.
Okay. All right, Victor.
Last December, I was at home. They brought food to APC brought food to our people. It was shared among the politicians, but it was mentioned to be given to the community. The same thing happens here. So many of them, chairman of this state, chairman of that state, they will all bring their list. My brother, what I'm telling you today, go and mark it today. You will see the list of people that will be employed. They will be children of politicians, children of hierarchy office of people, and the poor man children will not be taken.
All right, Victor.
They will expect them to be shouting, area 1, area 2, area 1, area 2. But they are all graduates riding Okada. They are more qualified than their children.
All right,
please,
Victor.
let us look very well.
We got that. Look inward.
What is making ego to smell is inside his body. We don't know where that thing is hidden. It's within us.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, man. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria right there. Appreciate. Victor said quite a lot right there. I mean, having retired from the civil service. You want to add your voice in the discourse too, you can do that. But first, let's go on a recess. We'll be right back.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
My people, the thing where they happen for my area,
Do you think I will now find out that you have contract to bring fresh girls?
I brought you from the gutters. Who gave you all the connects? MDG who? Without me, you would have been nobody. But
Join Media Coalition and Awareness to Halt Human Trafficking, MICAP, on I Wish I Knew radio drama every Saturday at 10 a.m. Let us join hands and kick human trafficking out of our communities. I Wish I Knew radio drama, brought to you by MICAP in partnership with the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, and funded by the Embassy of Denmark in Nigeria.
No offense to the commercials. It's just that we want to see other audio.
Eagles 102.3.
Out with the tweets, in with the X's. This is X Trends, where we go with the trends on X and dive in. It is fun, intense, and very interactive. Join us on X Trends on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio experience you can count on.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just
20,000 naira?
Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. Hurry now.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
We're still talking politics and current affairs, and we're looking at the Federal Civil Service recruitment process, which, of course, there's been quite a lot, controversies and conversation trailing this public announcement where applicants are expected to apply online. This has been a kudos from quite a well-meaning of Nigerians, saying this is a process that saves time, saves resources, and allows for technology to soar and thrive. But then there has also been concerns about the site in itself not well managed. Quite a number of complaints have come from diverse persons that I've conversed with, especially someone who was in the in-house of the Federal Civil Service, giving me information about how that site, those who put it all together were not very, very diligent at their jobs, and for some people who applied, submitted and everything, there was no feedback. Normally when you apply into such, you should have feedback saying, okay, you've applied for this, here is your something number, present this number, print it out, come with it if you're called upon, stuff like that. Nothing. And that was what forced the site to stay where it is now. Some of us had hoped that before this morning, or at least this morning, by this time or before this time, we should have had the site up and running. But I mean, from what our guest is saying, it doesn't seem as though anything has been done to ameliorate or to get the site up and running again. Just to also put it out there, our guest is still Sir Benedict Agundoye, and he's joining us via phone call. Let's go hear from yet another family member. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Barrister, sorry.
All right, Obasanjo. Yeah, it's fine.
You.
Where are you calling from?
Thank you. I'm calling you from Amali.
All right, Obasanjo, let's get into it. Thank you.
Our guest. Thank you, sir. This is how Barrister Uduak usually bring the brains. These are the brains that we need in the civil servant. These are the brains that we need upscale. These are the brains that we need. They can help the politicians to strengthen the nation, not the ones who come and eliminate, bring poverty to us. See, like he said, some of our brothers who applied, that portal is not open.
Okay.
Like someone's call, let me tell you, there's the key politicians. They have taken their list already. All those ones that you see, they just put it on air. That have, for everybody, it's for political reasons. That the federal government has sent this, so that, for citizens to apply. It's absent. It's a lie, sir. Nothing over there is working. Nothing. Like I said, nothing is working. Nothing is working, so I will stay up there.
All right, Obasanjo, I get that. Well, let's also put it out there that, look, the intentions may be indeed very pure, but then the process might be marred as it stands right there, but doesn't mean that it didn't quite have a goodwill intent, right? But let's get back with you, Sir Benedict. You already heard what Nigerians are saying. I mean, some say nothing is working.
I heard what they are saying.
Right.
Yes, there are lists. There will be prayers. There will be concerns. And like we said, the space available are limited. But I would rather have think that rather than people sitting down and condemning look, when you come to the civil servants themselves, how many people are in Ministry of Foreign Affairs today? More than 50% who are there today had their parents work in the same ministry. And so they replace their parents while their parents are leaving. The same so if civil servants can replace themselves, why are you blaming politicians or public office holders from committing the same crime that you have committed? Now, it behoves the civil service to do something. For me, the Federal Civil Service Commission should be like what they call maybe in the UK the Job Center Plus or something. The data of all interested candidates should have been in place, even so that when there are vacancies, you fill them as they come. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So it shouldn't be now that you are rushing everybody to go and apply. No. People should have applied or should have submitted their data on the website and on the database. So all you are doing now will be just for people to go back to that database to indicate what position they are interested in and not just uploading and filling records afresh. which means that even one of the places where we could measure unemployment would have been the civil service. To say that in our database, we have 5 million youths with this level of qualification who are waiting to get employed. Even if it's possible, some measure of pre-screening could be done. The database will show your language capability, your additional skill, your experience, your certificate. And so when cases like this happen, it should just be a function of calling up people, not declaring that people should come and be hitting the website. The website will have too much shit, and then what you get is that it will be shut down the way it is now, where the bandwidth has been exceeded within 8 hours, and everybody is finding it difficult to enter. So I think that people should begin to reason and talk around how do we go about ensuring that things that needed to be done are done at the right time. When that we do the right things and not be considered to be doing things right. Like I would always insist, if a politician has the record to show that this is the status of people in your constituency available on our list, and this is what we think should be done. If the guy now said, okay, take the third team, right? Leave the first team, leave the second team, take the third team to represent my constituency. He knows it that when competition comes on the job, his constituency will remain a backbencher. That's the practical reality. When your team is wrong, you will lose in any competition. And so 5, 10, 20 years down the line, when their mates are progressing, the people they have patched up and pushed into the system would have slowed down the system, but they would also have slowed down themselves and would have slowed down the opportunities that become available to the people following them. These are practical realities. But when there are no data, right, then the decision, whatever I have to take decision with is what I take decision with. When there are no data, the children of politicians or people who are around politicians become more important.
So let me ask.
And that's the practical reality.
Yeah, let me ask you. Are you saying that there should be the website in itself should already have a conundrum? You know, it should have had an accumulation of how many Nigerian youth are unemployed, right? And yes, it should be accessible at any time.
Yes.
Okay.
It should be accessible. It should not be a site you open and close. It should be a site that is continuously available for people to put their data and indicate their area of interest.
So in other words,
you are saying they can. So in a nutshell,
yes,
Federal Civil Service Commission should be able to tell us, because for you to go to their site, it means you are interested in public or in the government services, right?
Yeah.
So what you should therefore see on their website should be for every local government, for every state, because they have, I think, 2 or 3 states forms a commission. For the commissioners, there should have been a record of the states under that commissioner for the commissioner to review from time to time. But we can have people categorized by local government. This is the number of people who are read accounting, who read law, who read medicine, who read this, who read that, who are looking for job. And when they get in any federal agency, of course, you migrate them from the applicant list and they go to the list of the employed people. Because to an extent, they also manage records for people who are in public service. Their promotion gazette and the rest still come to them. You get what I'm saying? So basically, the primary job of Federal Civil Service Commission, one of their fundamental jobs should be data and record handling. They've been talking about digitization since 2005 or thereabouts. And up till now, you still need everybody to apply and submit information afresh every time there is application. Then something is wrong with the ICT department.
Right.
And people should call them to question.
All right.
For once, let's put the process in place. Yes, politicians can be wrong. There can be a lot of errors in the system. But let's come back to the basics. Do we even have the basics upon which decision should be taken? The answer is no, from all that we have shown. And for those who said, oh, they are civil servants or they are retired civil servants, ask them why they were in the service. How many of them as directors never influence the employment of people who are connected with them on the job?
All right,
see, what some of us are saying is, when you allow the best from every spread, because somebody will now say, because one state brought on somebody, I can go to my state and bring my goat. Your goat will not be better than the best of another state. But if every state and every local government will produce their best,
okay,
then the civil service will become strong.
Yeah.
Everybody will add value at their level.
Okay.
And then the nation will be a better place. But when you see it as a dumping ground, when you see the civil service as a dumping ground, there will be no innovation, as it is in many sectors today. There will be no productivity. Everybody will just come and wait for their salary. And once the salary is paid, the case is closed.
All right,
so basically, active and intelligent and competent people, when you put them on the job, will not be satisfied with just sitting down from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., sign, register, and go home. That will not be the case.
That will not be the case.
And we should depart. We should begin to depart from that pattern.
All right. Well, let's get back with the phone line. See here what family members got to say. I mean, Federal Civil Service have come out to saying that there are employment opportunities and applicants should indeed apply online. But it does seem as though the website in itself is not showing profitability. Well, let's get on. The number would be 0907-353-0044. That is the only number you should call. Hello. Okay, that's a miss. The number again, 0907-353-0044. The WhatsApp portal number would be 0909-705-4450. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning to you, Elder.
Naja is my name. I'm calling from Kubai.
All right, talk to us, Elder.
You know, there's a problem in the ground. We only find the remedy to it. If the government can listen to us. We senior citizens, we only there to advise them. We are not there to criticize them. If they want to stop the program of employment in civil service, they should keep politicians, keep politicians out of that side. You see, this is a federal character commission. It's supposed to be headed by religion leaders, not politicians, not public service. Let me give you an example. If you draw attention of W. Commission to come and start one part of government in Nigeria, giving the Federal Canada Commission, you don't think that man will take any bribe? You don't think he's not going to stand to see? This Sheikh Dairu Bauchi, bring it to Federal Canada Commission. You don't think he's going to take bribe? If you appoint something like Adeban now, they redeem leaders to be head of civil service in Nigeria here. Did you pay that kind of form? You see, outside Nigeria, all those appointments, they don't give it to politicians. They don't give it to corrupt civil service. If you bring people where you can stand for God, without fear of government, without fear of duty, this thing will happen. If you don't do any system where you put, they must corrupt it. Okay. If you get a curriculum of somebody from state, they may tamper with it, or they may abandon it. What government is supposed to do? Bring those people where they don't have interest in politics. They don't have interest in this, where you can stand for truth before the human being and God. They will make it, and then Nigeria will change. You know, so if any system where you bring, they are going to pollute it.
All right,
they are there. They are going to pollute it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elder. All right, God bless Nigeria. Elder Onaja right there, all the way from Cuba, says, get the religious integrity, religious leaders right there. They're the ones who are supposed to be heading the Federal Character Commission. They're the ones who are supposed to be heading the Federal Civil Service, Commission as it stands. But let's get on to the WhatsApp and see for ourselves what messages you have put out there, and just to also let you in on the fact that you can join the conversation as we are hosting an international, global, accepted, television station across social media platforms. Get on Facebook now at Eagles FM Abuja. Get on YouTube at Eagles FM Abuja. Subscribe and be a member of the family. I see a couple of messages via the WhatsApp portal now. Let's begin with this one, and it's coming from Samuel all the way from Kuje, sending his greetings from Kuje. He says the recruitment process in this country has a quotation mark. Is it quotation or a question mark? Well, you said quotation, so I take it for what you say. Now, he says, before you hear what they have published job vacancies, before you hear that they have published job vacancies, they would have given out the jobs to their relatives and friends, whether they merit it or not. And that is why before you know it, they will tell you that the vacancies have been filled out. Now, the agency needs to be overhauled because the corruption and nepotism have become the order of the day in the agency and other sectors in the country. It says, thank you. You do have a fulfilled day, you too, my brother Samuel. And I see this one now from Abbas. Abbas says, good morning, and let the civil service limit this application or applicants to only graduates who graduated in Nigeria institutions, because politicians and powerful individuals are lobbying for their children who have studied abroad. This is the only way to guarantee equitable distribution of these jobs to get to the ordinary Nigerians. Well, that's what Abbas has got to say all the way from Dutse. Abbas, thank you, far too kind. But then, Sir Benedict, over to you now. Some say that limit it to applicants who studied only in Nigeria. Others are saying, let the competent religious leaders who are, for some reason, don't even want to be a part of politics in the first place, let them be the ones who are drivers of some of these agencies. One of such would have been the Federal Character Commission and the FSCP, right? What do you think? Hello? Okay. Can you hear me?
Without appropriate data, right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Whether it is religious or politician or technocrat,
okay,
the decision will still not be right. So what we say first and foremost is, let's have a record that shows these are the people who are interested in government work. Let them apply. Let the database exist. Then you can now decide what parameters to use in selecting. But like I said, there must be respect for spread. We are diverse, and we must respect that diversity if we want to benefit from it. For those who think people who study abroad, irrespective of where you study, people should be, once you have completed NYSC and you are within the age bracket for that, that's if you graduate within the age bracket for NYSC and you have completed it, I don't think they should be excluded. Okay. The fact that they study, if the process is fair, the fact that you study abroad doesn't mean you will come here and beat or be better than some of the candidates who are here.
Okay.
If the job is to be done here, right, they're better on the computer than their mates who came from abroad. Who have passed the exams that some of those guys who are from the other side, who were overpowered in the college, they never thought, they don't have the kind of data some other challenges that are present here. So if the test and interview will happen here, allow everybody to compete.
Right.
We will realize that some of them won't even be able to compete. So the process is what we need to define properly,
okay,
not the two, right? And those who are saying the list have already been made, what we are saying first and foremost is you affect people should apply. The process for them to apply should be made seamless. So the issue of whether lists have been made or not, even if lists have been made and you say process of application, those who are already on whatever list, on whatever interest anywhere, will necessarily still have to apply. You can't go to the university, for instance, with JAMB candidates without buying a JAMB form. Is it not? without having right exam, you don't have a JAMB registration number, the chances are that no matter who you know, you definitely cannot be admitted into the first year as a matriculated fresher without the matriculation exam. So we need to have some standard and processes defined. If possible, you need to get people to do some form of aptitude by which you have determined their grade. It is available on the system. So when decision needed to be made, we don't have to run around the nation pushing everybody to run. You just sit down and say, okay, we need engineers, right? And then you look through your database.
Just pick from the database.
You query the database. You look at the engineering graduates available. You look at what their courses are. Perhaps at that point, if you wanted to take two across every state and you didn't get people from a particular state, you may want to now advertise indicating that there is still vacancy for that state.
All right, sir.
In this case, your local office in the state can even ensure the process for you.
All right.
But the reality is, rather than this blanket of they have already filled the list, they are only wasting people's time. No. The website is not running. That is the more important issue.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so mumuch, Sir Benedict Olalekan Agunloye, for adding your voice. You are an information professional, policy and public affairs analyst. I mean, we're hoping that we find some success in the process and get the process rightly this time, so that we do not indeed have to go through some of these embarrassments, because it's a national embarrassment, if you ask me. But thank you, though, for your time. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Sure. Well, this is where we call it a close. Thank you, too, for adding your voice in the discourse. We can't go any further for want of time. My name is Uduak Daniel. The business news, you should stand by for it.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
This is Eagles 102.3 News, your number one radio experience you can count on.